Hello and welcome to Totally Tell Me, a weekly entertainment review podcast where we talk about movies, music, food, and fun. My name is Dominic Mercurio and I am here with Laura Weinbach.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Totally Tell Me is a bi-weekly film review podcast. We live stream onto YouTube and Twitch, so you could be watching there live right now, or you could be listening later on some podcast services, all the ones. If you're joining us live, feel free to comment, and we'll be sure to read those and incorporate you into the show. And if you're listening later, you can always join for the live broadcast every other Sunday at 7 p.m. You know, in a traditional sense, it would be a 7 p.m. Today we're coming at you, in the traditional sense, in the traditional way that's
by way of tradition.
Right. Much like Christmas often falls on the 25th, but
exactly like that.
It's just like that, like clockwork. We are 7 p.m. except for today, in which we are live today a little bit late, but hopefully you're still joining us here. You found your way to the stream. Also, if you saw our announcement leading up to this episode, Kendra was going to join us today, but unfortunately she was not feeling so great, so she had to bow out. But we will definitely get her on an episode shortly hereafter, sometime in the new year in 2025, which seems like a year that would only exist in films.
It does, doesn't it?
2025.
Almost like a year that would exist in this film.
I mean, in some ways, yeah. Speaking of that, before we just kind of chit-chat for a little bit, later in the show, just so you know, we will be reviewing The Beast, the 2024 French film, The Beast. We'll be getting into all that in a little bit, but first we're just going to catch up. Because honestly, Laura, I feel like me and you, this is just how we hang now,
This is what we do.
This is just
how it is.
This is
how I hang out with my other people too. Pretty much.
it's like
how I do it.
It's just content now at this point.
This is The Beast, the movie in real life.
Right. Yeah. Our friendship has turned into a bit of a beast. It just exists in these little boxes here. By the way, we're also trying out a new little layout here. I slightly adjusted our visual layout, so if you're watching, hopefully you get a bigger, better look at us than ever before, for one. And also, I'm trying out us streaming in the good old-fashioned 1080p. That's 1080. Okay? 1080
Love that
pixels. What do you think of that, Laura?
That works, probably. I don't know. Does it work?
I mean, it's a fairly standard, not even that crazy resolution, but I find that we should be in 1080p. I think people need to see all the details.
And why did we not do this before?
I was scared. I was very scared. I was just scared to really pull.
No, it's like this. You ask me, why did we not do that before?
Why didn't we do this before, Laura?
I was scared, honestly. I didn't know how to confront you about it, and I just...
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
I feel like it was finally time for me to just come out about it, and...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's okay. Just let it all out. This is actually a safe space. It's just me
really
and you.
Scared.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you always made me feel like I wasn't safe to be able to come out about 1080p. Because we'd always been in 720, and it's just, I really felt like if I would have talked anything about 1080, that you would have just been like, just in my fucking face about it.
Well, I just feel like I should, first and foremost, I feel like I should come forward now and enter the space with gratitude that you have opened up about this. It's been sort of weighing on my mind as well.
And this is a safe space, so...
Yeah. And now that you've sort of shared your truth, I do wanted to just let you know that I never wanted it to be 720, I never wanted that, really.
Me neither.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
This whole time, actually, I've been wrestling inside about it.
Mm-hmm. So ultimately, I think we've found the solution that just works best for us both, and it's to move forward in 1080.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go so far as to reach for, even.
So,
Okay, I'm not
we're
even
not
gonna
doing
say
4K.
it. I'm not.
We can't do it.
You know what? You just shut me down internally, but that's okay. I will not even say anything anymore about it.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
I know what's okay. I know what's safe, and I know it's not.
Yeah. I've watched movies in 4K, they're beautiful. But are we ready to enter that space? I don't think so. I don't think people can do that with us.
I don't know if you are.
Oh, you're ready for it.
Yeah.
I wish I had a button to push
Well,
now, but
I wish I was ready.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
I want to be ready, but I feel like there's still a lot of work that I need to do.
Right. Yeah. Internal.
But I'm doing the work.
That's beautiful. Well, outside of that, how have you been?
I've been wrestling with a lot. I've been, fighting some demons and things like that. But other than that,
fighting some demons. Oh,
well,
are
it's
these
just
demons?
like about 720.
Right. Okay. I thought maybe there were other demons.
Oh God, I hope not. I really hope not. No, I mean I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
That's good.
How are you?
I'm good. I mean, just this and that. I feel like not Christmas. I was good. December, because of Christmas and many other things, I feel like is always just really jam packed with plans. Like I feel as though the entire second half of the month now is just every single day is
something.
And it's mostly parties, like it's mostly fun plans, but
yeah,
it's it weighs on you at a certain point.
It does.
All these parties to attend.
I know. I hear you. I feel the same. Shit. No, I know. I don't know what to do about this month because we got this album coming out, as you know.
Oh yeah.
So I feel that I can't
wait to hear
dive into the holidays as one would like to be able to do at this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year I was very invested in making ornaments and doing all kinds of activity. And this year I'm not able to do that. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to squeeze in a couple things, but I mostly just every bit of free time is going into just trying to make sure this album can come out by the date that we said it's going to come out, or at least by the show. Well,
what
it's
do you mean?
almost there.
What do you mean the date that we said? Did we actually say it? Did you say
We
a date?
didn't actually announce a release date per se, but we did say that our album release show is on January 31st. So that is happening. It has to be out by then. Though it's entirely plausible that it could come out before then.
Okay.
I mean, that would be appropriate. That would be
right
as pertains to tradition.
Right.
Which is something that
it has
talked about.
I feel like I'm telling people about our album release show, and they're like, "Oh my god, you have an album coming out? What's it called?" And I'm like, "Oh, actually, I don't know."
I know this. Oh, do you want me to tell you what it's called?
Are you allowed to say that? Are you sure this isn't like a press release that you should be putting out?
I don't know. Nobody cares about that shit, do they?
I mean, have you said what the album is called? Are you about to? Is this about to be an exclusive
officially.
Scoop?
No, but I'm gonna do some sort of announcement, where I post it that nobody else will seem to see or care about, and I'm sure hopefully they will, but you know how it is, you post stuff and you don't know what happens. I'm grateful, by the way. I'm grateful to announce this, which is that the Foxtails Brigade ad account is finally back up and running.
There we go.
Not that we've started.
You were hacked.
Yeah, it was hacked, and that was not ideal. But but now it's happened. It's up, so maybe we will start letting people know a little more rigorously and vigorously and robustly.
Oh boy!
Release. But do you want me to just give you a little sneak peek into what it might be called?
I would love that. I would love nothing more.
It's not. It doesn't have like a title. It's just a visual.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I know what the visuals are, but go ahead and explain.
Oh, what are the visuals?
I mean, do you want me to say that?
Yes.
I had to actually cough. This wasn't some sort
wasn't
some sort of bit.
Nor was it for me. But at the same time, I felt that I may as well make it into one since I had to also.
Right.
Um,
Well, I know what do you want me to describe what I think the visuals are?
okay.
Well, one album or one side of the album will be red and one side of the album will be blue.
You're almost right.
Okay. Like one side of the like if you had the vinyl, it'd be like red and then blue, yeah?
You would like that. I would like that.
Oh. Okay.
But it's no longer going to be that because that would be if we were actually releasing two albums on the same day. But that's no longer.
Oh. What? This
It's
is
not
all
going to be.
news. This is
It's
this
not
really
going to be two albums anymore. It's going to be one album, and then
Okay.
we're going to release. And this is just for the homies over here up in this,
Hell
like
yeah.
hanging out at this particular live stream.
This is what
We're
they
going
come
to
for.
release the second album not long after the first one. So it will be the first album will be the red album, and then the second one's going to be blue. And unfortunately, they're not going to be coming out together.
I see.
So, yeah.
All
So
right.
what?
Which one's
So
coming
the
first? Do we know?
red.
Red. Okay.
And
Cool.
what is that going to look like?
I would hope it's red.
Well, yeah, but red could be all kinds of things. What does that even mean to you?
Like, is it truly just going to be like you pick a color out of a color wheel and then just paint bucket over a box and then that's the cover,
Oh, no.
or is this going
No.
to be like cover art that has a red theme to it?
Well, you could say that cover art has a red theme. It's going to be very minimal in terms of the artwork, but I would not say that the production is minimal.
No, well, I know what the production is.
Oh, you haven't heard? We were listening to like the mixes today in the car and just going over everything, and I gotta say, I'm really liking how one of the songs is sounding that you recently
Oh, cool.
recorded on. Yeah, yeah. Anton and I are very proud of you on that.
Cool. I can't wait to hear it as well. I mean, look, send anything that's ready my way, you know?
Yeah, yeah. That one is. It's pretty much done. Yeah, one of them. No, it's almost. It's pretty close. I feel pretty confident that it's all going to come out together. You know, it's. But I will say to those who are hanging out tonight, it's not. The whole album is not going to be all stuff you haven't heard before. It's a lot of. It's going to be stuff that we did release during the pandemic as singles that never came out on fully on an album, and then there's going to be a few new things on the album as well. But yeah, this is this is part one of that.
Hell yeah. Nicole just commented, after my roommate moved in, I found out he was a Foxtails Brigade fan in Colorado. That was a fun coincidence.
No way.
Check that one out, huh?
Smart guy or girl.
Maybe that's how there was already sort of a connection brewing in the air. Maybe that's how you guys found each other as roommates, you know?
Let me just let you motherfuckers in on a little secret. No
Damn,
offense.
2 secrets?
If you're a Foxtails Brigade fan now, you should just know that you are on the right side of history. Okay, you made the right choice. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah. You
made
voted
the right
correct.
You voted correct. You are correct. If you are a fan.
Yeah, I know you're all waiting with bated breath to find out if you are correct, and we are here to finally
Let you know you're right.
You're right.
You were right.
You were right. 100% on the test is what you get. A+. Great job.
Yeah. Just stand by. Stand down, no, don't stand down. Just stand by. What do you say? Stand down, stand by. Stand up, stand by. It's all going to happen. You'll see.
Hell yeah. Oh, Bryce is letting me know a potential problem here, which is that only the Twitch comments are showing up. Oh, that's very strange. You could be right, because I was wondering why no one was saying a goddamn thing on YouTube.
I'm seeing a couple damn things on YouTube.
Well, good. Yeah, I don't have the YouTube up. I just
All
look
I'm
at
looking at is YouTube. I can only see YouTube.
Okay. Well, maybe,
I don't see a lot. I mean, it's not a lot, but
Right, yeah. But no, like I have a comment box that should show all comments, and for some reason it's not. I apologize for that. So, I guess if you definitely want me to see your comment, put it in Twitch, and I will try and occasionally pop over and look at the YouTube comments for today. But yeah, now that we've kind of gotten going, it'll be hard to kind of adjust too much with that. I'm gonna live try and do a little thing here. I should be able to monitor both. I'll be able to monitor both, I think. Not you. Don't you even worry your pretty little head, everybody. I will monitor both. Anywho.
Wait, Bryce's shell is up in here on YouTube. That was what I'm saying.
Yes, but well, the thing is, hold on, I'm just like moving boxes around on my screen so I can have this up. You know how like on screen, I'm sure this is thrilling for the people listening later. On screen, there's like a little chat box. Yeah, there's like a little chat box on the screen when people are watching us. Only the Twitch comments are showing up there, which shouldn't be the case. But
that thing.
I don't actually know why that's the case. But look, hey, I guess it is. Bryce just said he's on both on Facebook. So
okay.
Not Facebook, sorry.
Bryce,
Jesus Christ.
Amazing.
Anyhow.
How are you on both, Bryce? How are you?
He's just doing this.
How does that work?
He's doing this. You know? He's got his two keyboards. He's like leaned back with like two monitors here.
He's typing
like,
I'm both with both hands.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm both.
Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could like...
No, I don't. I can't even do it one time with both hands.
You're like, I don't even know how to spell both.
I'm not... Also, I never learned to read. No, I don't know. That was terrible.
Right. Look, what are your thoughts on this whole... I'm actually quite curious about this. What are your thoughts on this whole Luigi Mangione thing, huh?
Oh, did you know that that's actually my brother Brent?
Oh, shit.
Look it up. You'll see.
Look it up.
Look up his picture. You'll see that it's Brent.
Oh, you mean like that he kind of looks like him?
That it is him. Look it up. It is him. It's like an identical copy of my brother.
That's an interesting thing to say. I mean, I have seen him. I have seen him a lot.
We talked about it on the last episode of the Chicken Coop, and somebody, I should probably know who exactly did that, but well, actually, probably was CJ. No, yeah, CJ, Chicken Jessica, did a side by side of Brent and Luigi, and it was just pretty much irreconcilable. You can't. There's no difference.
It just bleeds in. It's a picture that bleeds in. Uh-huh.
I mean, the eyes and the eye. Well, there's a couple little minor differences, of course, but it's like, wow, it just totally looks like Brent.
Okay. I mean, I've seen his picture a lot. It's not like, I don't know what he looks like. I didn't think Brent, if I'm being honest.
Well, I'm talking about when his face was half covered.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So it was like you put the image like this or something? Because honestly, I feel like if you did that...
when he was wearing like a scarf around his face or whatever.
Oh, so just the eyes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, have you seen his whole face?
Probably, yeah.
What? How have you avoided this?
I just haven't been really watching and paying attention to the news that much lately, honestly, because I've been listening mostly to... I've been listening to this podcast like almost every time I'm in the car.
Well, I wouldn't.
But yes, I'm aware of it.
I wouldn't expect you to be able to see his face while you're driving, But
well, true.
And sort of like in between states in which you might be just lazing about, checking out things. I'm just shocked that you've avoided his face for so long. I mean,
yeah, I know.
I mean, have you seen it? Have you seen his face?
Maybe not his whole face. Well, let me look it up.
Well, anyways, I mean, because he's kind of a hunk and everyone's talking about it.
Well, I mean, I know that he's becoming a bit of a sort of, revered figure amongst sort of the, left youth.
Right.
Which
Well,
I don't
really know about.
What do you think?
Just the left. I think it's.
Uh-oh.
Both,
oh, no, you
really.
cut out. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh,
there you are.
Wait, hold on.
That was crazy. You just totally cut out for a second there.
Wait, hold on. I think there's an audio issue.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Okay, hello?
Right.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, just hide half of his face and it's Brent.
Right. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I don't see what you're saying, ultimately.
No. Just do this.
Right. I mean, eyes. Right. I suppose. But I feel like if you did that, like, I could probably pass as him too then. I got thicker eyebrows. I'm on the thicker
Yeah,
side.
no, his no, but I mean, I actually think his eyebrows are thicker than Brent's eyebrows to a degree.
I
But
mean, like it's a pretty prominent feature, one would say, about
it
Luigi.
is. But the way that they're kind of the way that they kind of go in
Uh-huh.
is similar to Brent. But
Hmm.
what do you think about him?
Well, let's start with, the act, which is,
Yeah,
look,
I,
I
I,
don't I
I'm
don't
not,
condone murder.
I don't condone it either.
I
I
don't condone
definitely won't
murder.
condone
Do I condone what this specific instance was though? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's the right way to do it, but I do think that in some ways, I think violence can be the answer in certain kinds of ways, you know?
it.
I think that it can be a protest. And look, I just kind of feel like I don't think this is the way that it should have been done. But I do think that like if it ultimately sends a message and it like, changes things like in the health for in the healthcare industry in America, which is like so fucking horrible. And I feel like we all like have a story that's like, look, this and this company, like I had to pay all this money when I did this. Like I feel like everyone has a horror story when it comes to healthcare. It's just so bad in our country, and I feel like I think it sort of is like emblematic of kind of where it's so bad that like someone can murder in cold blood and basically like everyone is like cheering for him. You know, I don't think it's like right to cheer murder, but I think it's interesting that everyone basically is because it's so bad here, like healthcare.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Well, let me ask you this: has anything actually changed in the healthcare system as a result of this?
Yes, Blue Shield, or was it Blue Shield or Blue Cross? One of those. They were about to implement that there was going to be like a limit on how much they would cover for anesthesia for certain surgeries, and then they reversed it. They like reversed that, and they made it that there is no limit now.
Because of this?
I mean, it was days later, and it was like, I mean, they basically said that they were going to make this change, and then shortly after this, they reversed that decision. So I don't know. I mean, that seemed like a pretty. I mean, people have been saying that it seems like a pretty direct response to this.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think, like in general, I would assume that there's just like, wouldn't you think that if you were like the head of a company that was in healthcare right now, you might start to consider like maybe we shouldn't just do everything evil always?
Well, I mean, if I was the head of a healthcare company, I wouldn't want to do anything evil from the beginning.
Well, sure, because you're not an evil
Uh,
person, but I
I
feel
mean,
like
it's
people
yeah.
are
I
evil
think
who run these companies.
the thing about evil people is like they're probably thinking about evil ways to get around shit. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine
Right.
that there's intelligence, on the other side of the coin that maybe is constructing plans for retaliation on some other level. Maybe
Right.
in a more like outward immediate response, there's going to be some way of doing damage control, you know what I mean? But that doesn't, who knows if that's not going to backfire tenfold, you know what I mean? Although I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't I don't like condoning, murder and violence at all, but at the same time, I don't deny that there is a place for it, and there always has been throughout the history of like, just every every change, any kind of major change or shift in politic or in just any major shift that's happened that's affected like entire swaths of populations
Hmm.
has been the result of like the deaths of many. I
Yeah.
mean,
Or yeah.
there's never been a time in the history of humankind that I can point my finger at where a time of great peace or a time of great turmoil happened that wasn't the result of some war that killed many people that had to
Or
that
great
had to what?
I think that yeah, I think you're right, but I don't think it's only the result of that. Like I think, don't you think like there's also been times where like a great leader can, I mean, maybe it is still ultimately a time of
Great
uh
leaders don't rise to power without the deaths of many. Like there's always going to be some kind of battle that occurs before any change happens, whether it's for the better or for the worse. That's what it seems. That's like the thing that history has constantly repeated
uh
and has shown us that is like inherent in sort of human nature.
mhm.
And but at the same time, when you look at an act like this, which is like it's an act of violence that is, sort of like a rogue violence, you know what I mean? It's not like an organized warfare per se, you know what I mean?
But I do think
It
he
feels
targeted him, and it was for a reason though. I mean, there was
well, of
like
course it was
yeah.
for a reason, but that doesn't mean, I mean, what I mean by that is it's like this is a kid that was like operating, independently of any
Mhm.
kind of organized, battle, so to speak, or whatever. It wasn't like I mean, here's the thing. It's like we praise war general. I was saying this, when we were talking about it in the chicken coop, like we decorate generals and war heroes and things like that and praise them for killing people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
In the name of fighting for one's country. Like there are circumstances under which we condone killing
Mhm.
and that is like it's socially acceptable. And so I guess when you look at it in that lens, it's like, well, all right, you have to kind of search yourself and just like kind of you have to know when is it really okay? Is it only okay because society tells me it's okay in this circumstance but not in this circumstance? You know what I mean? Or and so I think it's a really loaded question and it's hard to answer,
Mhm.
I mean, if it is resulting in the change for in some form of change that is ultimately going to be for the better of the many,
Right.
then maybe there is some merit to it, but I mean, my knee jerk reaction is that like it's not good.
Mhm.
That whole maybe there but then again, I don't know what the answer to change on that kind of a scale would be, really, besides some bold act of
Right,
like
because
dramatic act like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, well, I think that we've been quite, complicit and just sort of we just take the
Accept
charges,
the
like we just
situation.
like the crazy amounts that we pay every month for healthcare and
Well,
the
we're trying to
convoluted
vote
system that
against it, right? We have
are we?
supposedly we have a democracy that, like, where we.
But like seems like there's not a lot of movement in getting real reform to our healthcare system.
Oh well, hold up though. But what about like Obamacare and stuff?
Yeah, that I mean that
That
helped, but that's
affected me
still
greatly.
it affected me too, and I'm super happy for that. But I still even with that, I still pay a lot every month, and you
I
still
gotta say, I don't pay shit. Like, well, I don't not pay shit. No, we pay something, but like when Obamacare hit the markets, I will say, like, I don't know, that was amazing
uh-huh.
because it really did affect me directly, and I did not end up having to spend nearly, I mean, yeah, but that was the result of, I guess, democracy, right, to a degree, or
Sure,
I mean,
but
yeah, a change that was enacted by somehow,
uh-huh.
the majority of the public, I guess. And then, yeah, I don't know.
I
I
mean,
mean,
but
I
you
don't
do
know the
know that
good answer.
like healthcare overall, though, like many people are in a pretty horrible state
Well, yeah.
with their
Also, it's like covered California is different than like the rest of the country, I realize. And California has a much better situation, I think, than the rest of the country when
right,
it
right.
comes to healthcare.
Like
But
overall,
again,
we're pretty low on the list, or maybe even dead last as far as like maybe not dead last as well,
healthcare.
but like yeah, as far as where we're at economically and where our healthcare system is like in the rankings, it's like this huge disparity of like we more or less like we should be here given what America is economically, and then like our healthcare system is way lower than that. Like it just doesn't. There's a huge. It's a crisis, really.
Oh, I don't deny that it's a crisis, and I don't deny that there are people who are suffering greatly as a result of just the fucked up ethics of the healthcare system.
Mm,
Without a doubt. I mean, I see it and I know it's horrible.
mm.
But I don't know, like, is murdering a CEO of just like one major healthcare company going to be the answer to it? I don't know. I don't know if
Well,
that's
I
it's
mean,
obviously making waves on the headlines and stuff, but I don't
right.
know. It's it's a very I don't know, it's a complicated. I think it's complicated and I don't have like a solid answer for it,
Mhm.
honestly.
Well, anyways.
I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't like it, but I also don't think it's without effect and a consequence and without, definitely some repercussion that
Mhm.
may or may not be for the better.
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess time will tell, really. But I
Hmm.
do think it is making some small difference in at least the perception and kind of, I think, putting a bigger focus on opening up the conversation for more people to be like a little more aware of how bad it is, you know?
Hmm. I mean, also wonder if it's going to like embolden other people to commit kind of acts of violence, that are I don't know.
I think it's an
You
interesting
know?
target though, because I don't think many other targets would be met with almost universal. Um, like, there's not a lot of. I think people are at most like where you're at, where it's like, I don't condone violence, and I don't think that like this specific way that he did it is the way to go about it. But I don't think people are not like. I guess what I'm saying is if a different kind of figure, a figure that is more divisive, but some people love them, some people hate them. I'm not naming names or anything, but like, if other figures were to get shot, I feel like it would be a totally different story because it would be like, um, it would be divisive. It would be a lot more divisive than this is. You know what I mean? Because it's
Mm.
like everyone has, I think, some skin in the game with like healthcare in this country, where it's like everyone has had a horror story with either
Oh,
themselves or someone they know or whatever. It's like,
I don't think that's true, actually. I don't think that everyone's had a horror story with healthcare by any means. No, there's certainly those who definitely like have been provided for without
but like, I
problem.
mean, if they haven't had it, then someone they know has had it. Like, I feel like it's pretty pervasive.
I don't know if I would say that's true. I mean, like if you look at the people who are, who are making 6+ figures a year, like they're probably fine.
Okay, well, yes, if you're
You know what I
rich,
mean?
I guess I'm not talking about rich people because they would, of course, I mean, whatever.
But there is a population of rich people in this country who, can't be ignored.
Right.
So
But
I'm just
what?
saying, it's not everyone.
Okay, yes.
Which
Maybe it's not everyone. But I feel like even those rich people probably maybe they know some people who are less well off who have to deal with this shit. Like, it
I'm actually
affects a lot
curious.
of
Wait,
people.
what is the median, um, or what? Yeah, what is the median income in this country at this point?
Oh, I don't know. What do you mean?
Well, anyway, I don't know. But I don't know if like I wouldn't I don't know if I could generalize I don't know if I could make that kind of a generalization as to say like everyone or at least someone has known someone who has been screwed over by the healthcare industry.
You don't think that they Okay, I mean, I think that's a little wild to say though, because I think a lot of people have dealt.
I'm not saying a lot of people haven't been, but I don't think that I could say that everyone I know has been.
Well, sure. Like, the top percentile of people don't have to deal with this, and I guess I was not including them because they would I don't think that they would care about, like, this is obviously not about them, What he's doing isn't like a signal to them, you know.
No, of course
Oh,
not, but
other
I don't
than to say, like, I guess it is a signal to them in a more violent way, but I mean, he's not speaking for them in his actions.
No, his action is fighting on behalf of those who are like making under
Yeah,
who make
or even
less
the
than
average amount.
probably less than $100,000 a year.
Sure.
But I think that if you're making more than $100,000 a year, which is a lot of people.
But I feel like even if you are rich in this country, you would still realize that the healthcare system fucking sucks, though. Like, I mean, I don't think anyone is like, hell yeah, this is the best way to do it. Unless you really don't care about
Right.
other people, because I feel like
No.
if you're rich and you don't care about anyone, then I guess you could think that the healthcare system here is great. But everyone else, I think, would agree that the healthcare system sucks. You know, like especially
Yeah.
compared to other systems around the world. Like,
Sure.
I mean, you know, it's
Well,
just like stats.
I think that it's interesting though, because I mean, yeah, I'm definitely an advocate for having, free healthcare and having that be a government provided service that
Yeah.
like just like, they do in Europe and stuff like that. But well, why don't we have that?
Why don't we have that? Because
Mm-hmm.
we have, I think we're just too far. The rich companies who are, behind all this, like the pharmaceutical companies, are. And look, I'm not like the ultimate voice on this either. I'm not like,
But they're the ones who
student
are
of this.
like,
But I think
they're
they
in the
want.
pockets.
Yeah, they don't want us to have free healthcare, because then they
course
won't
not.
make nearly as much money.
well,
And
no,
so,
of course, yes, but
so
like,
it comes down to money for them.
but I'm just
is
saying,
why
like,
we don't
is
have it.
there? Do you think it's because they're in the pockets of like all the people who are running, that are in politics and stuff like that, like that
Sure. Yeah, surely
they're
so.
lobbying, or is there? But then, so do you think that people are not voting for government-funded healthcare as a result of that, or
People aren't voting it. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people would vote for it if it got to a point that we could vote for it, but we don't get to vote for it.
but
Like,
we
who's
can?
putting forth these bills that we can vote for it?
Well, we definitely voted for it when Obama was in office.
Right, because he was leading some sort of charge into making that happen, but most of the time politicians don't do that, And even him doing that, it's not like it was free healthcare for all. It was it's like a
No.
small step forward, but it's still like
Well, it
pretty
was free
bad.
healthcare. It was free healthcare for people who couldn't afford it, basically. Like if you made under a certain amount of money, then you got basically covered for everything. Pretty
Right.
much.
Well, look, I don't know all the details of Obamacare. I don't know exactly who.
That was. I mean, it was to me, it seemed like a really big deal because you were basically getting free healthcare,
Right.
like pretty like across the board, free dental, free eye care, free reproductive health care, and just like you could go to the doctor. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it was like the best. I mean, as nice as like going to a private healthcare clinic or something like that. But then again, I've been to see the doctor in Europe before, and it wasn't like the best either. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of being a free healthcare option, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was like definitely getting provided for.
Mm-hmm.
And I still feel that like in California, I've been able to, and I mean, there's reasons why I'm able to get it because of doing the kind of work that I do and stuff like that. But, write-offs and stuff like that. But yeah, I think not to say, which is not, again, I'm not saying that it's at all where it should be, where I think it should be. But I'm wondering like if there's a way that, we could somehow vote it more into practice somehow.
But it's not up to us, unfortunately.
Is it
I think
not?
I think a lot of
I
people
guess
would
I
be
don't
voting
fully
for
know
it.
how it works.
Well, someone's got to put forth this. I just mean it's not up to us, like me and you, Laura. Like we would have to be presented with the ability to vote for it, but we're not presented
people
with the
would.
ability. Yeah, like
Well, but I wonder if because I feel like the people also are persuaded into not voting for these things because they think that they're going to have to pay for it out of their taxes, which they would.
exactly. I mean, that's the right's whole argument is that like that, and also that then everyone would have bad healthcare if more people had healthcare. Like there's lots of like
Right.
scare tactics about how it wouldn't work, but the thing is we actually have like pretty clear examples of how it does work in other countries. And like other countries aren't perfect either. There are always issues, but it's like clearly how we are doing it is not working, So it just seems like why not take the risks of what we see other countries going through that are the negatives for the vastly superior positives that would come from it, Like, yes, there would be these negatives, but like, why are we just microscopically looking at that? The greater picture is so much better, and we can see it. We can see how it happens in other countries. I
I
don't know.
wonder if we would be like, as you say, presented with more of opportunities to vote for, healthcare, government funded healthcare systems. Like if Kamala Harris would have gotten voted for president, for example.
Uh-huh.
But then you look at what happened with the election and it's like, what the hell? I mean, she lost by a mega landslide,
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means that our country's fucking dumb and they don't
Well,
they don't even have
okay,
their own
so
interests in mind.
whose fault is that?
Whose fault? Well, look, I don't know. How deep should we go on this? Should we
I don't know. I'm just
I mean-
wondering. Like, I do wonder whose fault it is. Is it not? I don't know if it's our fault or if it's the fault of many other forces that are like, pulling strings behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that there were a lot of other things that were at play in terms of campaigns that were, that were putting major amounts of money into like advertising and commercials and stuff like that into the campaigns that were supporting Donald Trump. And
Yeah, but I mean, look, I think we already know though that Trump just gains people's, undying support regardless of what he says or does, really, because he just has like the I don't know what
star power.
Yeah, not quite star power, but just like his
He appeals to the bottom feeder. No, I don't know.
he speaks to
I don't think
he
it's
speaks
just
to
that
people.
though.
He speaks to
He
people.
does, but
and
I think it's more than that though. There's other people that are like vying for him. You know what I mean? That are like, or that's what I think. Shit, I don't know. We don't have to go that deep, but I mean, it's
Anywho.
probably it does strike me as interesting that like that many people would have voted for him. Well, I heard that actually it wasn't that more people voted for him on this election, but it was that many people did not vote on this election for Kamala Harris. Like that there were
Right.
way less, Democrats that were showing up to the polls because they just didn't want to vote. And that was ultimately what led to his victory.
Yeah, but it's even just like how many millions of people did vote for him is pretty staggering, and I think it's
But it was the same amount as in 2020, by the way.
Okay, but
Isn't that interesting?
well, sure, but it's not even popular
That's-
vote that matters ultimately. Anyways, like he won in a landslide with the way that he's actually going to win, which is the electoral college.
Uh-oh. What are you doing in here? Okay, you can say hi real quick and then. Oh God.
Hi, Ethan. Ethan is here. He's joining us. A frequent guest on the show, Ethan, at this point.
Hi.
Hi, Ethan.
Oh.
What do you think about the geopolitical climate in America, huh?
Can't hear you. I have headphones on.
No, I know.
Hi.
He didn't
What do you
need
think-
to. He didn't really
What do you
need
think
to.
about the geopolitical climate? Do you like geopolitical climates?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Hold on a second.
Yeah, yeah. Anywho, I think that's just about enough political talk anyways. Like, look, I mean, it's a dire, sad world that we live in, but we're not here to talk.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it is dire and sad.
Yeah, yeah. But
No,
anywho.
it's a complicated, though. It's complicated.
So what's not dire and sad in your life?
Well, let me think about that.
Please hold for a second. Let me think about that.
Please hold. Let me think about that. Well, I'm you go.
Here's another thing. Look, I mean, I got a queen size bed for the first time in my life.
A queen. Oh yes,
believe
that is
that?
an upgrade. That is less dire and sad than it. You have had a double this whole time.
I have. Oh my god, a double would be even worse, right? Wait, double's smaller than full, right?
Oh no, double I thought was the same as full. Maybe it's
the
not.
same. Well, I've had a full. I've always just called it a full. I don't know if it. I don't know. If
Yeah,
it's
I had a
double.
full for a long time, and then I upgraded to queen about a year and a half ago, and it was the best choice I ever done made.
Wait, you and Anton have both been sleeping on a full?
For many years, yeah.
Wait, I thought I was like the
finally I was
only
like-
person I knew who had a full. Still.
No, you're not the only person you know.
like
that.
like a couple, because obviously, like as one person, a full is fine, but
yeah,
as
one
two,
person. No,
as
yeah.
two,
Well, I dealt with it, yeah, for a long time, and then I was like, "F this, this is too small."
That's
The truth is
crazy.
a queen is only like 5 inches bigger or something wider, but it makes a huge difference. It really does. I know.
Those inches make a difference.
Them inches is big, but it's like one would want a king, but one does not have the room for a king in one's room.
No, not here
In my room, at least.
No, yeah. I feel like in the Bay Area, it's hard to find a space unless you're rich, of course. Speaking of rich people, unless you're rich, like you are probably don't have a big enough room for a king. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know,
you can luck out, of course, but it's harder to manage that. Because honestly, like
Yeah.
you can't really see the rest of my room, but more or less, actually, I could just turn. Look, here's room reveal.
Oh my
Look at
God,
that.
we're seeing everything here.
Wow, like pretty much the half of
You
the
could
room.
actually
half
you
of
could
the
totally
room.
do a king. Oh, maybe not.
Well, the thing is like if I did a king, it's like then that is like gonna just be up against. It's just gonna be
Actually,
silly.
how many more inches bigger is a king? It's like only maybe what, 5 more inches bigger? So you
I can look
figure
that up.
only 2.5 inches on each side. You're good to go.
But also, I think it's longer, isn't it? Is it?
It could, unless you get what's called a California king, I think, which I think it's either longer or shorter. Maybe.
Wait, California king though is even bigger than a king. I thought,
Oh, okay, maybe. I don't know.
right?
Then maybe a king is the same like length as a queen, but just wider, like a chode.
Okay, I have a chart up. I have a chart. So a full, which is previously we've been dealing with such a thing, is 75 inches by 54. A queen is 80 by 60, so it is bigger in both directions by about 5 inches in both
Wait,
ways.
say it one more time. Repeat those motherfucking shits one more time.
A full is 75 inches long and 54 inches wide.
75 long, 54 wide. Gotcha.
That's right.
Check.
Queen is
75 long,
queen is 80 long,
80 long,
60 wide.
60 wide.
So basically 5 on each side. I mean, it's 6 length, but
How about
you
a
can think of
king,
it at 5
though?
and 5.
But then
A
what's the
king
difference?
is okay. I don't know if this is right, but it seems a king is the same. Yeah, is the same length, but it's
75,
wide. No, 80
80
long,
long. That's what I'm
and
talking
76 wide. So damn, you're getting
76?
that's 16 inches
Whoa,
more.
whoa, wait. How many
Whoa.
inches wide is the queen?
Queen is 60. So you're getting
60.
16 more inches in a king
Oh, fuck. Wait, on the wide side?
on the wide side. Yeah.
So you're getting like a mega chode type
It's
of thing.
it's honestly, here's how you can think about it.
Wow, that's 8 on each side. That is a lot, actually.
You could no, it's not 8 on each side. It's 16 on. Oh yeah. I see what you're saying.
Well,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
were to
yeah.
like extend it both sides, like on each side, you know what I'm saying? Like if you were to just be like
like
my
one
queen,
person's
here's my king.
right. Think about it
but
like
let me
this.
think.
It's basically the same length as it is wide. So like you can look at
Yeah, so it's a square.
yeah, it's basically a square. Like look at your bed, and it's as if the length is what the width would be too.
Right.
'Cause
yeah,
the
that
length
would
of a
feel
queen
really,
is 80.
That would feel too big in my room for sure. And the main reason is because there's a window to the left of my bed that is like pretty close to the bed right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would just not work. You know what I mean? You don't want your bed going into the window. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's unfortunate.
Anywho, a
Well,
California king, if you're curious, is actually kind of like a middle ground in a way.
Oh.
It is a little longer. It's 84 long,
Uh-huh.
but it's only 72 wide. I mean, so it's definitely wider than a queen. You're getting 12 more inches, but it's a little more compact and a little longer.
That could work, actually.
But I mean, do you even need more inches on the bottom?
No, I want more inches on the sides, though.
But you have to. You're still getting 4 more of them inches.
I wonder if you could get no, you don't want to fucks with a custom size because then you got to fucks with a custom mattress.
Oh yeah, no, because then you'd have to. Well,
I mean, then you have to fucks with a custom bed frame or
exactly.
whatever.
Yeah. You basically have to get like a size up in your bed frame, and then you might have some like extra space.
Right, you don't want to mess with it.
You don't want to fuck with that. I actually love my bed frame, not to brag.
No, I love my bed frame, not to brag, but I will brag because it is the shit.
Oh, really? Well, what's yours?
Mine's just a really pretty antique oak bed frame with actual carved oak leaves and other such things as that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it, but I don't really want to. But
You don't have to. No, no one's saying you have to. Okay.
we can't really see it right now, but
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
My room is a mess right now. I don't even want to show people.
Mm.
It's okay. You know
Right.
what? Whoever's hanging out right now, you're getting the inside scoop. We're telling all right now. We're talking about all kinds of junk.
Yeah. Well, ours is a sort of it's Japanese inspired, like
Oh,
wood
yeah, it's
block
one of
kind of
those.
thing where it like locks in, and so it's actually like extremely sturdy because it's like
Oh, it's not screws and bolts. It's like wood pegs and such.
there's truly just one single screw on the entire bed, and it's just like at
then
the.
that's not good.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
No, it's like everything locks in. Everything locks in.
No,
It's
I like a lock in.
clunk, you know, it's like
Right,
this.
right. Yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean?
I know.
It's great. It's actually super easy to put together and
Cool.
very sturdy. So, anyways, I don't know.
I love it.
But like, I've just been able to, I've been able to just lounge out now. You know,
You're just you're just
I
spreading
could just
out.
be spread eagle now if I wanted. I could just be bare ass spread eagle now, which I
There's
clearly couldn't
finally
do
enough
before.
for your cheeks to just spread eag.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The other bed didn't have enough room for that.
Yeah, like if I wanted to totally starfish out in a way, I don't think I could have starfished out on my previous bed.
No, I love it. I love. Oh wait, does that mean you got a new mattress?
Well,
Yes,
yeah.
it does. Wait, what mattress
That's
did
the
you get?
main.
No, I know, right? Yeah. No,
What do you mean?
I'm
Do you think we
thinking-
just got a frame?
No, of
we
course
just
not.
kept our
No,
our
I
full
mean,
bed.
it didn't occur
No, I
to me
love
to
that.
ask you about.
I love that. I love that you thought, or like, I didn't really think, but like abstractly
didn't-
would think that we would have kept our full mattress on our queen size frame.
Of course, you got a new mattress, but I wasn't even thinking about like what kind of mattress you got because I know you had a Sattva before, right?
I did have
Did you get another Sattva?
Sure did, baby.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah.
it the same type? Is it a medium firm?
It medium firm. Well, it's called something firm.
Oh shit! You better tell my
Something
shit right now because I want to know.
Oh, really?
I-
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Well, I got a Sattva before too, but I ended up returning it because I was not happy with it.
But you didn't get the same one that I had, right? Didn't you
I
get like a
don't
different?
know.
Didn't you get a different squishiness?
I might have gotten this medium, I want to say, but
So
like,
I got the luxury firm, is what it's called.
oh yeah, no, one doesn't want a firm though.
No, but see, it's not that firm. It's luxury firm.
So does it have sort of like a pillow top on top?
No, it doesn't really have a pillow top, but but it's like I guess it's like a medium, but
right.
luxurious. I mean, it has luxury in the name, Laura. What more do you
You're
need
like,
to
"It's not
know? It's not that firm. It's not, because if it was super firm, I wouldn't like it either.
But I feel like I got a luxury firm as
Oh.
well. Maybe, I'm not sure. And I was like, oh, this is too firm for me. But then here's the thing, though. I did get this, and I've had a conversation about mattresses on an entire episode of the Chicken Coop, I'll say. Brent is having some real issues trying to find the right mattress, and he is not having fun with that.
Uh-oh.
But yes, I went through the whole mattress buying freaking phenomenon like a year and a half ago, and it wasn't fun because I had to buy 3 mattress. I went through 3 different mattresses, that I eventually before landing on this one. But I got a Stearns and Foster estate luxury
Oh.
plush.
Was it firm?
and it's not firm.
Okay.
No, it's a plush, whatever
Right.
that means.
Okay.
Well, basically, it's their soft mattress. It's like the softest one they have. And I thought, oh, Anton will get used to it. You know what I mean? Because I thought it has a pillow top, and it's just very cozy, and I feel like it really hugs my body in a good way, but it still provides support. And then, but the guy on the phone was like, well, if you want it to be like a little bit firm, you're going to want to get the medium because the soft one is going to be too soft. I was like, I'm gonna go with the soft because I have a feeling the medium is gonna be too firm, and so I didn't listen to him. We got this one. They did have a warranty. They had like an exchange policy or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So the first month, Anton was like, "I think it's okay," you know.
Mm-hmm.
After freaking motherfucking 3 months later, he's just complaining up the yin yang, as they say, um, saying like, "This is not working for me." He's like, "This is just broken on my side."
Mm-hmm.
And he was feeling like it was sinking in too much. This is also a hybrid mattress, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
wait, yours is a hybrid too, I'm sure.
Well, as in like it has springs, but it also has
Foam.
Yeah. No, I don't think this
A
is
type of foam
I don't
combined
know.
with spring. Yeah,
Maybe.
they all do. I mean,
Okay,
most of it. Satva is about that. But wait, where did you get your? Did you go to the store in San Francisco?
No, I ordered it online.
Oh, okay.
It was made to
Well,
order.
anyway, no, I know they're made to order
Made to
because I
order.
got one too. But point being, yes, so the mattress that we got, it had a 90-day exchange thing. And sure enough, right after that 90 days is when Anton started complaining about it. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, for fuck's sake. And now it's like he hates it.
Like the one that you still have.
The one that we still have.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was not cheap, let me tell you.
Well, yeah.
And I don't know what to do about that, you know?
Is it
I
like
tried.
have you tried just asking?
Rotating.
Very nicely.
Yes, I have asked nicely. Can I please return this shit? And they were like, no.
Yeah.
They were like, well, you can fill out this form and tell us like why you want to exchange it. And then they made me like do this diagram about where it's denting in and blah blah blah. And they're like, we don't return stuff based on dents.
Yikes.
I was like, well, what the fuck? I mean, the whole idea is that it has a 10-year warranty if it's like sagging and all that crap. They're like,
Yeah.
you only get to exchange it if it's sagging below a certain point, which is just, I don't know.
No one wants to be sagging below a certain point, you know.
No one wants to be sagging below a certain point, but it's almost like one thinks, well, maybe one should just take a sledgehammer to this shit and like make it sag.
Oh, I see. Oh, I mean you could do that. You could do
But then
that.
I wonder if they're gonna like figure it out.
Well,
Maybe not.
we'll just erase this episode and then they'll never know.
I
There'll
don't
be
know.
no
I feel
evidence.
bad though, because I actually still enjoy the mattress quite a bit. But I don't know. It's just like, how do you find the right mattress for two different people?
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's like he wants a firm mattress, whereas I want something that's not quite firm. I feel that we should have gone with the medium, to be honest.
Well, I'm looking at the Satva website here, and they have three. They have three options. They have plush soft, which is contouring
yeah.
body hugging feel, best suited for side sleepers and lightweight sleepers. And then they have
Interesting.
the luxury firm. Oh, what I got, and it's the most popular comfort level.
That's what we got.
Ideal for couples with different firmness preferences and sleep styles.
We got that though. I know we got that. Okay, you know what? We got that,
Okay.
and I'll tell you what they did do that was very cool about them. I called them. I was like, you know what? It's just a little too firm for me. And they're like, before you return it, let us send you a free mattress topper worth $150.
Okay.
So they sent us the mattress topper, which was nice of them. It helped a little, but I was like, I don't feel quite luxurious enough in this. I want to feel luxury, comfort, surround sound.
Maybe you needed plush soft.
I want to feel hugged.
Contouring
By a
body
luxurious-
hugging feel
But I want.
is the plush soft. You
It
needed the
is,
plush
but-
soft.
But Anton does not want the plush off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Well,
really unfortunate. It's
you
like
could get one of those-
He
what are
has
they-
an aversion to luxury.
You got well, you
He
guys
does.
have
He's
very
like,
different
oh,
sleeping
is it
styles.
nice? I don't like it. I hate stuff that's nice and fancy. Is like basically his response.
Well, I do remember
to
that he
anything nice.
actively loved to sleep on the floor while we were touring.
Yeah.
And I do think that you guys have such different styles that maybe you should explore the whole what's it called, like the sleep number thing. You ever look into that?
Oh my god, no. That sounds so. Oh my gosh, hold on. Sorry, hold on. He's
Okay.
doing something. Hold on. Ethan, no.
The camera is off, ladies and gentlemen. Censored content. Ethan is destroying something or someone, really. Who knows? We'll never know. But look, I think personally, speaking for me, I like a soft too. A soft mattress, that is. But I used to have a super soft mattress that was like so deeply soft that it was like fucking up my back, you know? So there's like a certain there's a limit to my love for the soft. And eventually I just had to start making a firmer choice in life. I had to
Oh
really
my God,
I had
sorry.
I had to put my firm hand down and make a firm choice. And that firm
Yeah.
choice was a luxury firm.
I would actually not mind just lying on your bed just to see how I felt about it again because I wonder.
You should. You know what, Laura? I also have a guest bedroom these days. And in that
Oh,
guest
yeah, you
bedroom lay my previous mattress, which is also a luxury
Oh,
firm. And it's a full. So, you know, you
luxury firm, yeah.
could, you know.
It's funny. I feel that just having the word firm in the title does sort of turn me off.
I hear you, but then you click.
You're like, but it's not that firm.
It's not the firm. But when you click on the site, it gives you a sort of 1 to 10 scale, soft to firm, and they call their plush soft a 3. They call their luxury firm a 5 to 7, and they call
7 is getting way up there.
but it's 5 to 7. And then their firm is an 8. So, you know,
So the firm is only one above the plus
or
3
3 if you're think of it as a 5.
or 3.
We got ourselves a 3, we got ourselves a 5 to 7, and we have
Although
an 8, a firm.
I think that also the guy at Satva was like, you got to give it a few months or whatever to break it in, as they say, after you do some rough and tumble fucking on that bed.
That's right.
That's when it becomes
Hell yeah. Actually, I would actually agree with that, because I do think, and I noticed the difference going from a luxury firm that I've had for a few years to like a brand new mattress. It is a little firmer at the exact moment in time, but I know that it will kind of, you know,
It will
mellow
break
out.
into that 5.
It'll break into that 5. Like, I would say our guest room is a 5 right now at that point, because we've done a number of things on that.
The thing about it though is actually the one thing that is good about getting a 2 firm 7 of a mattress is that you can always get a mattress topper. Like
Right.
you can't really go firmer from a softer mattress, but you can kind of go softer from a firmer mattress. Like you can put a feather bed on top, which actually does help quite a bit.
Right.
So maybe I should just I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out though.
We
I'm
have
gonna
a
to pull some
we have a couple comments here. We have one from Midexlian, who said Edward Scissorhands waterbed is the only way. What do you think of a waterbed?
Those are so bad. My parents loved water. Like my dad would get water beds. My parents always had a water bed growing up, and they're not good.
I think a waterbed is like
It's just a bad idea.
it's just
a
like
terrible
it's like a kid made. It's like a kid concept of what a bed could be. They're like, what if the bed was water? And they just did it, but like that doesn't actually make it comfortable. It's just like filled with it's just water.
Well, I think they were a big deal in the 80s and 70s.
Oh, hardcore.
I think
yeah.
they came out at that time, and then my dad still has one. My mom thankfully got rid of the one that they used to have, and she finally sleeps on a normal mattress. But yeah, no, they make no sense.
Yeah. And then Nicole cracked me up with this comment. She just said, I can't believe they haven't sponsored you guys yet. It's true.
Ooh, water beds?
No, Satva at this point. I mean, Jesus.
Oh my God, child. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye. Hold on. Okay, last time. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Anywho, probably once Laura's back would be a good time to be moving on into this whole, movie discussion here. Hopefully some of you have checked out the film, The Beast. I'm very excited to talk about it. But, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But look, Satva, if you get one, just do luxury firm. Take it from me. Someone who's completely not sponsored by them, but would take the sponsorship at this point. If they want to give me like a sort of retroactive coupon that could take a couple hundo off of the mattress, I wouldn't say no. I should just send this episode. I feel like maybe I'll just send this episode to them and be like, just so you know, we are probably responsible for zero point 0.1 sales of your mattress. So think about it. Think about it. The movie was a little cray. I'm excited to talk about how cray it was. But you know, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay, had to use the old chair. It'll be fine.
For our audio
This
listeners,
is not the
Laura
first time this has happened.
Laura has created a Home Alone trap, a sort of a burglar is in the house style trap
Door lock.
of putting a chair to block the doorknob.
It actually really works.
It does. I mean, yeah. I mean, they do it in the movies for a reason, you know?
Yeah,
Anywho,
I
speaking of
guess they do.
movies, should we talk about this movie?
Sure.
I think it's about time.
Yeah.
Look, so we're here to discuss a little film called The Beast. I'm putting it up on the screen. So look, The Beast, and I'm pulling up some information. Please hold. So The Beast is a 2024 science fiction / romantic drama film by Bertrand Bonello. It's a French film by a French director, and apparently it's loosely based on a 1903 novella called The Beast in the Jungle. But I do think that he's made some pretty significant changes. It stars Léa Seydoux and George McKay as two people who are involved. Well, here's what I'll say about the plot. That will hopefully not. It won't be spoilerish at all. Essentially, this film is about, in the near future, there is a way for humans to kind of go into their past lives and help remove trauma that they may have incurred in their past lives so that they can live their current life in a sort of more neutral and less emotional way. The whole theory being that, like, in your past life, something horrific may have happened that is still affecting you even now in a sort of like Buddhist kind of mentality way.
It's like removing karmic debt. So.
Yeah. And so Léa Seydoux plays our protagonist, who is undergoing this treatment in the near future, and we are also seeing her through time. As well, like experiencing some of her.
No, wait, she's undergoing the treatment in the future.
Yes, yeah, the near future.
Near. I guess
it's
2044.
Yeah,
no, not near, but...
yeah, 2020
okay.
2044 is when that part of the story is taking place. But she goes backwards in time into her past life. Anywho, George McKay plays another man who she kind of runs into in that 2024 timeline, and who is also appearing in her past life. And she's just sort of, I think, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I guess she's kind of exploring these past lives in relation to her current life, and I think kind of grappling with if this is right for her or not. Would you add anything to that, or do you think that's...
That sounds right.
All right, there you go. So yeah, The Beast came out earlier this year, or it actually technically came out in festivals in 2023, but it was released wide in France first in February, and then later to the United States as well, or many other parts of the world. So here we are, 2024, The Beast. And I should mention one last thing. We won't be talking spoilers just yet, so if you have not seen The Beast, feel free to keep on listening. First, we're just going to give our overall impressions of the film, what we thought of it, without getting into the plot. But then later on in the episode, I'll make it very clear that we're going to be getting into spoilers. I'll put a spoiler warning on the screen as well. And at that point, if you care about spoilers, you may want to tune out. But for now, we're just going to kind of talk a little more top level. And Laura, what did you think of The Beast?
I thought it was cool and like kind of interesting and had some fun visual elements, and I thought the acting was very good. and overall it was kind of like Lynchian. I liked some of the sound design and the music and stuff like that quite a bit.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it.
Oh my God, this is like this is that was maybe the
I don't know if
the
I like
nicest
totally.
intro that you've said about a film in quite some time.
I don't know if I like fully got it. I think it was cool though. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. What about you?
I'm excited to talk through it too because yeah, I think there's parts of it that are probably purposefully vague in certain kinds of ways, and I think also up to interpretation in certain kinds of ways. So yeah, I mean, we'll kind of get into that, especially later. But yeah, as far as what I thought overall, I really liked this film. I thought it felt so. At first, it's almost like an overwhelm. You're kind of like trying to keep up with like, okay, what is going on? Like like what is maybe like real or not real, or but then like once things I think start to come into focus, it's like what is the main gist of the plot, because I didn't even know the kind of log line that I mentioned before I watched the film. So I was even in the beginning of the film, and I should mention too, I have seen this film once before, but I did rewatch it just today to kind of like refresh my memory. But
Okay.
I'm just talking like from the first time I watched it. I recall feeling a bit like, okay, wait. I was kind of being pulled in these different directions and was kind of confused at first, but I feel like once things started to click as to like the main just gist of it, I really started to click with it, and I kept thinking that I knew maybe the direction it would be going in, but then I feel like it often surprised me and would add in something that was both surprising but also really intriguing. Like I feel like it constantly found a new way to add a layer that I thought was like really kind of fun and or not just fun, but like engaging. You know, like again, like not to get into any specifics, but it just kind of felt like it was pulling me in constantly with more kind of information, I guess. I think the acting is brilliant too. Like I think both of the leads are, especially Leah Seydoux. Like I think she's so good in this. Like she's just super captivating in her kind of like, in a way, multiple roles. I guess it's always her, but
Well,
it's
I
like
feel like the guy McKay. What's his first name again?
George. Yeah, George McKay.
I actually thought he was brilliant.
Both of them, yeah.
Especially like, I mean, because his characters seem to shift quite dramatically from one lifetime to the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you're really seeing his range. You know what I mean? Whereas her shifting is a little more subtle. It's like you get that it's her still. You know what I mean? And which is also like kind of a trademark of kind of, I think, in a way, somebody who maintains a certain kind of presence on screen. You know what I mean? And there's some value to that as well, of course. But I think in terms of just seeing sheer range, like the dude was pretty interesting
Yeah.
to see, because it's like you really feel. I think there's a magnetism about his character in the beginning. You know, when you're seeing him in the kind of Belle Epoque Paris era, and he's just like this super sensitive, kind of really attractive gentleman type figure who's very kind of interested in understanding more about the kind of emotional depth of his counterpart. Whereas like in the next, you know, and without giving too much away, it's like his next character is just so different
Yeah.
that you're almost like you would never know that they had any kind of relation at all.
Yeah, I actually found that to be like I was wondering about that in a certain way, because it's like, you know, and again I'm gonna kind of like tiptoe around this to not get into any specifics, but like if the concept really is that these people are going back to their past lives, it's like how similar or different could those past lives have been? Because it's almost like for her, it does kind of almost feel like, even though the characters may be a little different, they generally kind of feel like her. Like it kind of just feels like it is her in a different era. Whereas you're right, like George McKay's character, it's like he seems to be entirely different people, like fully. Like it's not like there's a thread.
But you can find a thread though, I think.
Yeah, I guess there's a thread, but I guess it's a much looser thread.
No, I think it's an interesting thread though. I think it's kind of like what could happen if you take a thread from the past life and twist it a little bit. Like, because there's definitely, yeah, there's ties that that could lead a person to those kinds of, circumstances if they are not tied.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, if they're not wrapped up, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, in a past life of some kind, or in a past scenario where, I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
but I think that it's interesting. I think that that's one. I think that's the insight that this movie for me provides. That's kind of intriguing and worth contemplating.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
But also in that regard, it reminded me a little bit of like David Lynch because it does feel kind of like just especially with the sound, like the music
Mm-hmm.
and the sound design. Sometimes was like it reminded me sometimes of my dad. These movies that my dad had when I was a kid that I would watch called was a collection of student films called Strange Tales. I don't know if I ever showed it to you.
I
It's
think
a
I do. I think I
VH.
watched one of
Oh
them,
yeah,
or
and like those really left a mark on my psyche as a kid, and they just had the most intense like music, and a lot of it was electronic, like synthesizer music and stuff like that, but really cool, weird synth tones and stuff like that, creating just ominous sort of emotional elements to the cinematic, experience. And I felt like this movie did that in a lot of really cool ways, and it was unexpected actually. Um,
yeah. I also like that it was paired with also a score that maybe
mhm.
was a little more in a tradition. It like the score feels more traditional, especially in like the France section of the film, I guess.
Oh, which yeah,
Huh?
that in the beginnings, one of the beginning scenes of that era, um, they're like at some kind of ball or whatever, and they're playing a piece that Anton and I used to play all the time on the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right, right. And
Anyway,
someone was named Anton in this. Did you know?
and it was funny. I was watching the movie and I was like, oh my god, Anton, they're playing the piece that we used to play, and then he goes. And then right after I showed that to Anton, like Anton wasn't able to watch the whole movie with me, but I showed it to him, and he was like, and then right after I said Anton's name, they introduced the character Anton.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I love I going off of kind of what you said about the
Leaps.
Lynchian aspect of it. I
Mm.
also I feel like Lynchian gets thrown around even by me too, probably more often than it should. But this it was like I actually feel like there's something to this on like a deeper level that made
It
me
did
that
have that.
conjured up the Lynchian thing, not just in aesthetics, but in like
No, just
just
like
the
a
actual
feeling, the mood.
yeah, like really kind of feeling that deep uneasy sense of like anything could happen in a weird way. Like
It's that
that's
transcendental meditation shit, yo.
it's like the keeping you on edge, but also kind of playing with humor too. Like
Catching the
the
big
film is
fish.
really dark, I think at times, but it's also quite humorous at times. Like there was this really interesting tone. But yeah, I not it's I think specifically in one large section of the film that is like deeply Lynch too for even more reasons. Like it really conjures up to me Mulholland Drive like hardcore, but it doesn't feel like it's just kind of like ripping it off or anything. It feels
No.
as though it's kind of coming from that same
Pulling
surreal
from a
landscape.
similar.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So of course I loved that because I'm a huge fan of Lynch, and I found this to be not just like it's Lynchian because it's weird. It's like Lynchian because it really is kind of pulling in like some surreal and like strange things that it's also fun to kind of like try and piece it together because it's like it's not a puzzle that fully fits. I know I'm hearing that. It's not a puzzle that
Did you
like
see the doorman?
yeah, yeah, this is like the movie right now.
Mm.
Because I feel like there was a lot in this film where it's like the puzzle pieces don't fully fit it, right before your eyes, but it's like really fun to play with them, because you're like thinking about like, oh wait, could this mean that, or like what did she mean when she said this, or like these kind of things are like constantly swirling in your mind. That for me, I think that was part of it, of what was keeping me like so engaged in the film, was just like because they give you so many interesting kind of nuggets to be like thinking about the whole time, even if they don't
Yeah,
like come
totally.
together in some sort of like aha way.
Right,
It's
right,
like
right.
a lot of them kind of do feel like they have some greater meaning upon like what they're actually getting at. And I'm excited to talk about some of those. But yeah, I don't know. Is there more
Yeah.
to say from a non-spoiler sense, or should we?
No, let's just jump in.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of this, I'm really excited to talk about more specifics about the themes. But yeah, I mean, I would just cap it off by saying I highly recommend this movie for sure if you haven't seen it. So
Yeah.
yeah. But with that, we are going to talk some spoilers. So if you have not seen The Beast and you would not like to be spoiled, now would be the time to tune out because we're going to get into all of the themes, all of the plot points. So there you have it. Oh, and there's a few comments too from Nicole. She said, I feel like it's quite dark to be classified as a romantic drama. Kind of felt genreless. Yeah, like calling it a romantic drama, I guess I'm just saying that because Wikipedia calls it that. But it does have some romantic elements to it, and then it also of course has some dramatic elements to it. But I think if you're thinking of a romantic drama, this probably isn't what you're thinking of. You know, like tonally, it's
No.
a little more surreal and weird, and yeah, like it's not like a rom-com or something.
Well, not a rom-com,
But even like a romantic, like it's not, you know, like just
like
a pretty little love
romantic,
story.
dark. Yeah, kind of. It's just like dark.
Mm-hmm.
Not dark. I mean, it's not just dark. I'd say it's. I mean, yeah, whatever Lynchian is in a sense.
Yeah.
Kinda.
And I think that's like there's a tragic element to a lot of it, it feels, you
Right.
know? Yeah. Anywho, so
Yeah.
with the spoiler warning on, maybe let's just quickly break down a little bit of what this film ultimately gets at. So I kind of already, I think, described the 2024 element, but there are kind of two other main parts to the film, which is early 1900s France, and then 2010s-ish Los Angeles, essentially. That these are the two past lives that she explores quite in depth. So kind of like the first half of the movie focuses on that early 1900s France section, and then the second half of the movie focuses on the Los Angeles 2010s era.
2014.
Yeah, 2014 era. And again, the kind of overarching thing that's happening the whole time is the 2024, which you don't actually get like a ton in. There's just like smaller kind of like bits and pieces are in the 2024 section. But yeah, so it's like, to kind of just like fill in the gaps of what I previously said, it's like she does meet this guy in 2024 in kind of like a passing way, but when she's exploring her past lives, she has a very intimate connection, I would say, with this guy in very different ways through the two main eras that we explore. So in the early 1900s France era, they're kind of falling in love despite the fact that she has a husband, and she ultimately leaves her husband for him, and they both die tragically at the end together, trying to escape a doll factory that was caught on fire. And then in the 2010s version, Los Angeles, she's an actress who kind of has like a run-in with him because he is kind of like obsessed slash longing for her because he has not had sex with a woman in that version of himself.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. No, she doesn't technically leave her husband for him in the Paris era. Like,
She wrote
yes, they
that-
die together, but like they don't like consummate their relationship other than like they hold hands, you know?
Right. Well, I guess what I mean is like she wrote that letter to her husband that was like,
Oh, right.
that was like, basically she's like done with him in the letter.
Yes, but it's questionable as to whether that letter got sent, isn't it?
No, we see him read it.
I know, but I feel like there was some implication that was like maybe kind of imagined or something like that. Am I wrong?
Well, I didn't take it as imagined. I mean, she also mentions in the
Oh.
2024 version of herself, she says, I once left my husband for that guy," when she's like talking with like the bartender or something like that.
Okay, all right. Sorry. I think it's maybe just that they never had sex, basically.
No, they didn't. Yeah, I mean, they didn't really like.
They didn't get to fully experience their relationship because it was like ended too soon.
It was like just starting when they
Yeah.
both die, for sure. Like but she does like take that big leap in kind of, in some way, committing
Also,
to
I wonder,
exploring
like,
it. Yeah.
right. Okay, carry on. Sorry.
No, yeah, that's all I was gonna say. What were you gonna say?
Wait, that's all you're gonna say?
About what? Well, I just
No.
feel like with that, yeah.
No, but beyond that, I interrupted you.
Oh, just about like I was just kind of summarizing just in
The
general,
plot.
so to kind of like frame our conversation a little bit, because I feel like we're probably going to be talking about both of these parts in kind of different but sometimes together ways. So I just wanted to kind of like frame what the two halves of the film really are. And I guess ultimately I could end it by saying like, in the end, we kind of find out, which I actually think is quite important to frame this whole conversation. In the end, she does eventually meet up with him in the 2024, Louis, in the 2024 timeline, and they
He's
like
gone
share a
through
moment. Yeah, they share a moment that seems like maybe they are finally like having this like ultimate connection that they have been looking for through their past lives, but then it's revealed that he did undergo the same treatment that she was attempting to go, or that she was doing,
considered.
but she basically like she it wasn't effective for her. She was continuing to have these deep feelings.
Emotional
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah, just emotions entirely, because the whole point of this thing that she's doing is
Maybe we should also just like put the explanation out there. The procedure is like, there's this procedure that you can get in 2024 to where AI can enable you to erase. Oh wait, I think you already said it. Erase your emotional attachments to any traumas. It basically enables you to just. It makes it so that you're kind of a neutral being. You never have extremes of emotion. And well, I guess that's what AI is kind of depicted as being, like a completely neutral like entity that never exhibits or experiences extremes of emotions, which is supposedly better, and that it will erase your past life memory or any kind of inherited traumas that might somehow like exhibit themselves through your personality or your behavior patterns that would inhibit you from like progressing in life, from being able to do the things that you want to supposedly do. And she's afraid of that. So her whole issue throughout the movie is that she's got this like ingrained fear, this impending sense of doom that she's going to be somehow like obliterated by this, essentially what I think is a lack of emotion, like a complete withdrawal from any human emotional experience.
Right.
And that's kind of what the beast is, right? Is like this thing that's void of the human psyche, which is essentially the composition of emotion, the range of emotions that we are able to feel.
Yeah.
And that's what Louis, not Luis. That is what he becomes, is the beast, right? Essentially, at the end, is that like he does undergo that procedure, and he does completely kind of he severs himself from that human
it works
experience, and from all of his past lives is like completely wiped off. So basically her love, her kind of soulmate, I guess you could say, in this movie, is now no longer her soulmate. It's like he's gone. And she's still left, like pining away. And I think that what's interesting about, okay, like tying the first life and the second life together, between the kind of the intense dramatic shift from his initial character during the Belle Epoque era in Paris, where he's like this very comely, I don't know what the best word to describe him, was like he's a very gentlemanly kind of sensitive soul, very
and he's intelligent and like
yeah,
kind and
thoughtful.
sweet, and like he's kind of like the perfect man in a lot of ways.
Any woman's dream guy.
Right.
And then in 2014, he's just like this total kind of like almost kind of like a meathead type of guy. He's like, I've got a nice car, I make a lot of money, I'm really fucking handsome, but no girls like me, and I don't understand it. I'm 30 years old. I'm still a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
And like he kind of takes he's like gone off the deep end. I mean, he's thinking seriously about committing either suicide or murder, it seems to the viewer. And he feels that the world owes him like a girl or a woman
Or
or
just
whatever.
women. He he's
deserves women to
specifically
keep him around.
angry at women for never being with him.
Which is clearly like, I think, linked to the fact that he was never able to kind of consummate his love with her, with what's her name again?
Leah Seydoux. I forget what
With
her
Leah
name is.
Seydoux' character. Yeah, with Leah Seydoux' character.
I'll look it up.
And so he's kind of, from this past life, he's got this major unfinished business of having drowned in this tragic,
Gabrielle,
flood.
by the way.
Yeah, Gabrielle. Anouilh. And it's rather than enhancing his more gentlemanly side character aspects, it actually it not just blots that out, but it actually borns within him a sort of psychosis, I think, or birth. I should
Right,
say,
in the
like,
2014.
in the 2014 version of him, it's like he's rather than being kind of cast into the depths of despair, it's his despair has turned into madness. Like he's become a psychotic, like killer essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And he, because the pain, I think that it's all tied to his pain of loss and suffering in the past life, whereas her character is still but the power dynamic between them in the first life is, I think that there's still, like, she kind of had the upper hand, right? Like in their relationship in the Belle Epoque era.
In what,
because,
way?
well, I mean, she was the one who left her husband for him, right?
Right.
It was like he wanted her from the beginning, and she was kind of like, I don't think I'm going to leave my husband. Like, I love him, and blah blah blah. And so she had the power in her. She was more. The dynamic was such that she was like more on top, I would say. And so that, in a way, I think plays out in the following lifetime, because it's like he's trying to, I think, take back some of that power by, like, having a gun and stuff like that, even though he's completely like out of he's so insecure, he's so devoid of any like self-worth, really, that he has to tell himself that he has all these qualities, but he's not able to actually feel them, because I think there was a sense of maybe that he didn't have that fully in the last lifetime, maybe. And so this is like an attempt at trying to take some of that.
Yeah. Well, I also found it interesting that it's like they obviously aren't aware of their past lives in the 2014 version. Not. So it's like I think
that's like the subconscious, like, kind of repercussions of that.
Right. Well, yeah, of course. But what I mean is, like, just even in the context of the story that's going on in 2014, I found it interesting that she was drawn to him at all. And I guess it's like sort of implied that there must have been some subconscious level that she maybe felt with him, of course. But like,
I think that's but isn't that kind of the message? Like, we are drawn to those who we have had experiences with in past lives. Like, that's.
Yeah, I guess so. But I guess in the 2044 version, it makes a lot more sense because we are told that she will remember like what she experiences. And so it's like, we do know that consciously she is aware that this is the guy, like, because she recognizes him, of course. But like in 2014,
sorry, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like in 2014, it's like we know that character doesn't consciously recognize him, but it's obviously implied that there's a subconscious level of like they are still drawn towards each other, but in this like completely different kind of way.
But that's the part of the message, though, I think, of this movie is like, if you take all of that away, then there's just no bond between like you and any other person maybe the idea in this movie is that like we are drawn to those that we have had business with in the past, and that we are still trying to find pieces of ourselves in throughout our lives, and like that there is some meaning and there's some beauty and there's some love in that, you know what I mean, and there's light in that to some degree, because it's like despite his psychosis, despite his like ridiculous behavior,
Yeah, and by the way, Nicole
still
said
able to.
Nicole
Go ahead.
said that he's an incel, which is like kind of the term for this. Like, it's very on the nose. Do you know the term incel? It basically just means involuntary celibacy, which is like a term that
I guess I didn't know that.
it's a term that is like used for this very specific type of guy, which is like a kind of more modern
Just a
guy.
sexually frustrated person who doesn't
Yeah,
get to have
which
sex
is
because-
prevalent, I think, in the last like maybe 20 or 30 years, where it's like,
Oh.
especially because of online culture. I mean, it's always been the case, but like, especially it's been coined in the internet era, I would say, for like modern men who want to have sex but they can't find a partner, and so then they're just like pissed at women at large.
But what's interesting about their dynamic in 2014 is that despite his like ridiculous meatheady tendencies and his behaviors and, you know, his incel, in being an incel and being influenced by his circumstances and his whole thought process, it's all of that kind of gets overridden when he does engage with her in that moment when they're in the house. Because he goes, I don't know, something about her just made me like not want to go through with like killing her, basically. And so it kind of pulls, it tugs at and touches a part of his humanity that he doesn't even know that he has, you know what I mean? But had it been like obliterated, well, I guess maybe he wouldn't have been like a psychotic potential like psycho killer in the first place. But it's like I think that maybe part of that message is that even for a person who's as like kind of lost and off the rails as he is, that potentially finding a spark of something that might have touched him in the past life could be a way for a person to find love and healing or whatever, you know what I mean? Or, you know, transformation. And without that, if you just become like a whatever robot or whatever that doesn't have any of that kind of dynamicism, then you're just like boring.
Right. Yeah.
There's just no story to tell.
Yeah. And I definitely love the message and the ending. Just, I thought the ending was so kind of powerful. In ultimately what you've already kind of just been saying, where it's just like that really, that's what keeps us human, is the spectrum of emotion. And that's what like the whole point is. I mean, it's like a simple idea in a way, but it's, I think, very poignantly shown throughout the film, this concept of like, you know, it's in the emotions that we find connections with others. So like when someone is devoid of that, it's like, even like you're saying, like in these both extremes of like, he's this super romantic guy versus he's this, you know, extreme kind of the opposite of romantic, like the, you know, he lacks romance
like
entirely, but at least he like in both ways he's feeling something quite strong. But then in the finale, it's like when they finally could have maybe what she had wanted in all these past lives, it's like now that he's just like an empty vessel of nothing, it's like that's the greatest tragedy of all. It's actually like far worse, because I mean, we see her just like scream and cry in the end, which I think is such a powerful shot, and also her performance in that is like, I mean, it really shook me. I thought like that was just so good both times. And yeah, I just thought like where it ultimately gets at, it really makes you like then retroactively think about the all the themes that it's kind of been playing with in a even, I don't know, more tragic kind of way, you know, because it ultimately becomes a sort of what's it called, like a fairy tale that has a, yeah, there's like a term,
Tragedy?
no, but like, oh well, that of course too. I don't know,
A fable? No, a
you know,
parable?
like
No,
when it's like, you know, the
When it
point
has
is that it's
okay.
forget it.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, like I found watching it a second time really interesting too, just because it was like kind of seeing it more from that. Also, I love the symbolism too. I feel like we should maybe get into some of that with like one of my favorite parts of the film is this concept
Allegory.
No, but that isn't it. I mean,
Parable?
I can't. You know what I mean? It's like a
Like the tale of Peter and Wolf. Peter and Peter and the Wolf.
Exactly. It's like when something is
Like a moral tale.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Not allegory?
No, it wasn't that. But now I forgot what I was saying though. Oh, one of my favorite parts of the film though is the whole like fortune telling thing that happens in the two different timelines. I loved that part of it. Like I loved that.
Oh, now that was Lynchian.
Very much so. But
the one in the 2014 time when that woman like got that red room in the background.
Oh my god, I loved it. Like, but
that
both
reminded me of Far Away Long Ago too, a little bit. Our video.
Oh, just the long shot, you mean?
No. Oh well, for one thing, the whole first shot was all one shot, wasn't it? Or just in the beginning. Sorry, not the first shot, but like when they're in the first scene when she's like in France and they're at that ball and she's like looking for her husband.
Yeah, that's a long shot.
That was all one shot.
There's several long shots, but I thought you were talking about the one for the first time that she sees a clairvoyant in early 1900s France.
No, not her. No, the second time when she's like talking to her that lady online and there's that red room in the background.
Yeah.
That reminded me of Far Away Long Ago at the end with the red bathroom.
Oh, sure.
Anyway.
No, but I'm saying also the first time she sees a clairvoyant, it's one long shot when the clairvoyant starts describing what we then later see play out in 2014, and we see the 2014 house before we then later realize that that's where she's house sitting or whatever. I just loved that both of the times that she sees a clairvoyant, it's like she's gaining insight that is like so accurate, but she has no idea. Like it kind of it seems like intangible to her at the time, but we as the audience know that this is actually like incredibly on the nose and like exactly what she should hear. But like both times it's like this kind of missed opportunity in a way, and I found that to be like so kind of beautiful and dark and sad in a kind of way, or like just like a poetic, misconnection or so, like because she could have this insight, but yeah, I loved that first sequence when we see the 2014 house and she's kind of talking about what does she say, like she describes the bird, which we then
pigeon,
but she says
it's not a bad omen at first. If it doesn't go in your house, it's like a good spirit. But if it goes in your house, it means the death of you or someone close to you.
Right, which we then see play out every time someone dies in this film. Before they die, they have an interaction with the bird, which I did find interesting. Like, in the end, the tragedy isn't that someone dies. It's like the death of humanity, but not like an actual death. Which I think I loved that kind of use of it, because it's like we see it repeated. First, of course, she, like, the pigeon is in her room in 1906, or not 1906, but early 1900s France. She like is swatting it away or whatever, and then of course she later dies shortly thereafter. And then in 2014, the bird. Wait, does the bird come into the house? It does, right?
I feel like it's unclear if it's inside or outside, because it lands on like a railing.
Oh yeah, no, that is inside, right? Because she's talking on the.
I actually couldn't tell.
No, I think it is, like, because it's when she's having her second meeting with the clairvoyant, right?
Well, it's just a really modern looking house that looks like it could be inside or outside to me.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
But it was the stairs that she later goes up that are indoors. Like it was, like she's sitting near the stairwell, and the stairwell just has like plants on it. But
from what I recall, it looked like it was on a railing, like through that we see it either through a window or I don't know. I forgot kind of. But I just do remember thinking like I wasn't sure if it was in or outside.
But then, of course, later, I mean, in the finale, it appears in that bar that she finds the dude in just before they have that conversation where it's like revealed that he has he has no emotions anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved
Yeah.
that. By the way, did you recognize the like the crazy shit that she's watching on her laptop as Trash Humpers by Harmony
Yeah.
Korine?
Oh yeah. No, wait. Oh wait. What was she watching?
Well, you know, like
Well,
how there was like
she had like 3 different things going on when she was talking to the clairvoyant. You mean?
yeah, there's like all these crazy pop-ups that her, like, it seems like her computer
One
gets
of them
some
was
sort
like
of virus.
rioting. It was like there was riots going on one thing.
Well, yeah, that was like news, I guess. It's implied that that's like news, current news.
Which was interesting.
Yeah, that's like in the background. She doesn't even care about that.
Yeah, and
I
then
thought-
she's got like there was like the obviously the clairvoyant, and then what was the other? Wait, you're saying that the other thing was a Harmony Korine movie?
Yeah, it's literally clips from the film Trash Humpers.
You know, I haven't seen that. I don't know.
I thought we talked about Trash Humpers at one point. Oh, you haven't seen Trash? Oh, you would. I think you would.
Wait, did we? Shit, I can't remember.
I mean, it's quite literally like a whole bunch of actors who are dressed in like old people makeup, so they look super old. But it's like, and then they hump
Haven't
trash,
seen it.
and it's like just degeneracy. It's like nasty,
Oh my gosh,
weird
I haven't
shit.
seen it. I probably should watch that though.
Well, yeah. Anyways, like some of the clips that
watch
she
it.
was watching, I was like, "That's Trash Humpers by Harmony Korine." What? This is
Right.
like, it's so weird that would like be there. I don't know. That.
Yeah.
But anyways, that.
When did that come out? Did that come out around then?
Oh, good question. But I don't know if it's like necessarily that she's actually like, you know, aware of Trash Humpers.
No, I know.
As
but
much
it was
as it
probably
was
just an
just
Easter
like,
egg.
yeah, just like weird, like she's watching weird shit, but like if you know what that is, it is Trash Humpers.
No, it's probably for like the audience, not for her.
Yeah. Trash Humpers came out in 2009, so I guess it could have theoretically existed in the timeline. But yeah. Also, to go off the kind of Lynchian aspect that I was getting at earlier, this is of course the section that hardcore reminded me of Mulholland Drive, like especially just her being like an actress in Los Angeles with like surreal undertones and like, you know, dance sections. Like so much of that is, I feel like, the building blocks of what is kind of going on in Mulholland Drive, you know? And just like that paired with the tone that it had, I was just like, damn, this is like deep Mulholland Drive vibes.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I want to actually watch it again, though. I feel like watching it a second time probably be interesting.
It
Yes.
it was. I know. I'm seeing someone trying to.
I
break
honestly
into
do
your
have to go soon because I feel like
Yeah.
he gotta go to bed and I'm in the room right now.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, but no, I mean, I feel like we covered a lot of ground here for the most part. I mean, any closing statements?
Oh, did you watch the post-credit scene? Did you
No.
scan the?
I did not because I did not have time to. But tell me what happened in it.
Oh, it's like super
Or
brief.
don't tell.
It's super
Okay,
brief,
I'm
but
gonna do it after.
you should just do it. It's kind of fun. It's like, I mean, it doesn't really add much to the story, but it's just like a fun little
No,
thing.
yeah.
But yeah, if you scan, I found that interesting. I was wondering what the choice was behind that, like, because they don't actually play the credits to the film.
Yeah.
What happens when the film ends is it just displays a QR code.
I think that is like a nod to the whole AI, like the whole just anti-future thing, anti-tech, anti-AI in general. Like, just,
Right.
We don't have the patience for it, which is funny that I like didn't even do it. But it's not because I didn't want to. I just honestly look. This is what's happening right now. I can't do shit for like a long time anymore.
Well, anyways,
I'm trying to.
I thought it was an interesting choice, and
Yeah.
so I did it, and unexpectedly, there's like a little extra something in there if you watch the credits.
Okay, I'm going to. I will.
Yeah.
I really want to actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho, but yeah, we'll wrap this up. But I think, like, I don't know, my last thought is just like, I think the movie's excellent. Like, I highly recommend it. Check it out. And I think I definitely have been thinking about it all year since I saw it for the first time, and it was super exciting to get to watch it a second time. And if anything, I might have liked it more the second time to just like really like absorb it a little more. But yeah.
Thank you for the recommendation. I really liked it. I
Cool.
thought it was good. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
this is
I'm
one
really.
of the better ones. One of the better choices.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Can't wait for Nosferatu though.
Oh, fuck yeah. By the way, we should
It's gonna
mention
be so
that's a
fun.
good segue. Our next episode will be on December 29th, I want to say. Yeah, 29th. And we already know that we will be doing Nosferatu for that. So get your butts out to go see Nosferatu. It comes out on Christmas Day, hilariously. We'll be covering that on our next episode. So tune in for that. I'm so excited for that. A
Same.
couple friends of mine saw it early and they were like, it's masterful. And I'm just like, oh God, I cannot wait. So Robert Eggers' new film, who of course we both love The Witch, but he also did Lighthouse and The Northman, all of which I love. But of course The Witch is, I think,
One of my current favorite directors of
yeah.
alive.
Yeah. So tune in for that. And yeah, thanks Laura again for being
Thank
here.
you, Dominic.
And
you.
we will see you again soon.
Come to our Foxtails Brigade album release show January 31st, Friday night at the Independent in San Francisco. We will be posting more teasers for that coming up in the next few weeks. And
Hell
talk to you
yeah.
later.
All right.
Okay.
See ya.
All right. Bye.